Letitia James, the New York State Attorney General, has destroyed the National Rifle Association. New York State Attorney General Letitia James has destroyed Wayne LaPierre. Now, there will be other gun rights organizations shilling for gun manufacturers. But thanks to New York State Attorney General Letitia James, it won't be the National Rifle Association, and it certainly won't be Wayne LaPierre. She broke the NRA and Wayne LaPierre. He leaves the National Rifle Association after 33 years on January 31st. He quit, humiliated the day her trial began. And thanks to Letitia James, he won't be getting that $1 million a year pension package he negotiated for himself. But keep donating to the National Rifle Association. Don't give it all to Donald Trump. Make sure you save some for the National Rifle Association. Wayne LaPierre, the disgraced leader of the National Rifle Association, who leaves office on Wednesday, has been accused of conspiring with two other NRA executives to steal at least $45 million from donors. He testified on Friday in the New York State civil fraud trial that has been filed against the organization. The New York Times reports that prosecutors got LaPierre to admit that the gifts and luxury vacations he and his wife Susan received from NRA vendors were in fact direct violations of the NRA's bylaws and are not allowed by nonprofit charitable organizations like the National Rifle Association. Yes, the NRA is a nonprofit charitable organization. Who is the charity for, you ask? Weapons manufacturers. According to the New York State Attorney General, LaPierre, as the head of the NRA, funneled millions of dollars to various pass-through corporations who then kicked millions back to him by giving LaPierre use of their American Express cards and showering him and his wife with luxurious vacations on yachts. They got gifts like watches, clothing, and computers. The Attorney General says LaPierre used the NRA as his personal piggy bank, making it pay $250,000 to one clothing boutique in Beverly Hills alone, and even $800 for mosquito abatement at his mansion. Your NRA donations went towards mosquito abatement at his mansion. During LaPierre's testimony, he acknowledged that it was official policy for everyone working for the NRA to fly coach, but he admitted he violated it by booking flights for himself, his wife, and his niece on private jets and charged all the costs to the National Rifle Association. LaPierre said he had no idea what all that cost. When informed that each flight costs anywhere between $15,000 to $40,000, he said, "Oh." NRA Watch has been covering this trial extensively. I'm glad somebody is. NRA Watch reports that during his testimony, LaPierre may have perjured himself when he said that the head of NRA security told him he should fly on private jets. But NRA Watch reports that LaPierre had been flying on private jets years before the head of private security had even been hired. NRA Watch reports that during Friday's testimony, LaPierre admitted that he made the NRA pay for his family's vacations in the Bahamas, charging the NRA for private jets to ferry him, as well as separate private jets to ferry his niece to their island destinations. LaPierre testified that he was aware that an internal investigation revealed that his longtime aide, Millie Hallow, had spent hundreds of thousands of NRA dollars in the early to mid-2000s on things like her son's wedding. Aww. And though Millie Hallow didn't get fired for that, she did have her NRA credit card taken away. At least one of her NRA credit cards taken away. Because after the investigation, the internal investigation, Millie Hallow continued to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars of NRA money on a different credit card to hire limousines. Hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars spent on limousines over at the NRA. $1,285 was spent on a limousine to drive Millie Hallow's son from Washington, D.C. to New York. LaPierre was asked if these expenditures were in the best interest of the NRA. He said no. It was learned during testimony that LaPierre made the NRA pay the dues for his membership to a Donald Trump golf club. Donald Trump is scheduled to speak at an NRA forum next month, and he received millions and millions of dollars from the NRA when he was running for president back in 2016. Politico reported back in 2018 that the NRA was the single largest contributor to Donald Trump, donating $30 million to the Donald Trump Super PAC in 2016 alone. That's more than the NRA had ever donated to any presidential campaign in its history. There are some reports that the NRA was used as a straw donor, funneling money to Donald Trump from Vladimir Putin. Senator Ron Wyden, the current chairman of the Senate Finance Committee, said back in 2019 that his investigation concluded that in 2016, the NRA was a foreign asset for Russia. He then said the IRS should consider taking away its tax-exempt status. Oh, did I mention the NRA doesn't have to pay taxes? New York State Attorney General Letitia James began her investigation into the NRA 4 years ago. Originally, she intended to dissolve the organization, but a pretrial judge ruled financial irregularities don't meet the threshold for a corporate death sentence. James has jurisdiction over the NRA because it was incorporated in New York State in 1871. The New York Times reports that legal costs now run the NRA tens of millions of dollars a year, with revenue from dues down 40% since Trump was elected president. Everything he touches. After the lawsuit was filed, the NRA decided to file for bankruptcy protection with the hope of reincorporating in gun-friendly Texas, but a federal judge blocked the move. Everything he touches, everything Donald Trump touches.
It's time right now for the David Feldman Show. So get your ears.